welcome to your TraderMerlin show. It's Monday. That's right, man, I'm losing track of time. I apologize for the delay. As you guys may know, today and tomorrow, I'm going to get started at 2:15 just because I was doing an event for New York. I had a fun time talking to those guys out there, but we're doing the same thing tomorrow, so we'll get a little bit later start. And then, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no show, unless maybe I can manage to swing a surprise one from Atlanta, where I'm going out to do an event with Larry and Todd out in Atlanta. Very excited about that. I haven't been out there in quite some time, so we're looking forward to some live stage presentations. Anyway, hello, Walter. Jim as well. Jim Bass, good to see you. Tom, Terry, Tony, good to see you. Rob as well. Glad you could make it, buddy. It's late over there for you. Pepe, Ken. I see you got some new people. Ada Martinez, Pepper from Mississippi, Musk Gold as well. Eric Schneider, Schumacher. I went to school with an Eric Shoemaker. I got confused there. Lori, John, Taylor, Kenny, good to have you guys with it. Obioma as well. Yeah, what an exciting day. Some very fun moves out there. Unfortunately, I had one equity trade today on American Tower, which we had set up yesterday, or on Friday, I guess. Might remember that one. And it just didn't quite work out, and I ended up losing money on it. And I got to change this graphic because this is not an online trading academy show. Let me get rid of that. I did another, there we go. Whew. Let's get OTA out of there. Sorry about that. And by the way, Tom, this one's for you. Did anybody see that 49er game last night? You got to be kidding me. 37 seconds left. You have the lead. You know Aaron Rodgers is going to throw down the middle of the field. You give up 2 deep passes and a field goal. Serenity now. Couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'll get the 49ers logo off my screen for you, Tom. That's just for Tom. Anyway, I had a couple really good questions that came in, and I thought it might be nice to talk about those and kind of maybe some of the issues that are facing our market. So let me read this one this is from Jeff. And Jeff says, I was on a webinar for work on Friday regarding all the slowdowns at the ports. You mentioned all the cargo ships in the bay waiting to come in on Friday's show. Will we be seeing some increased prices due to supply and demand come Christmas? All major retailers are foregoing all smaller seasonal holiday shipments and placing orders for Christmas. How do we use this information to benefit us in trading? It's a great question, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know. And maybe we can do a collaborative discussion here today because I have my ideas. I have a hypothesis or two on what might happen with it all. But for those that might not know, let's run through some of the facts and figures and see if, in fact, good old Saint Nick might be saying goodbye to that Santa Claus rally, which seems to be so prevalent in our markets. Oh, well, maybe not so much going forward. So I'm going to start things off with my own personal stories. You guys know I bought a whole bunch of electric bikes. I think I ordered those in like January, February. They're supposed to take 1 month. Ended up taking 4 months to get here. Fortunately, I already paid for it, so I got the price that I wanted. But then I wanted to reorder, right? I wanted to reorder some, and the prices went up huge amount of money in a very short period of time. I don't know why my background's flashing like that, folks. It just is. So here's a chart of why that is happening. Here is the WCI Shanghai to Los Angeles container rate for 40-foot boxes. So these are the shipping containers. And as I mentioned, they're literally lining up going into Long Beach. There's just a gigantic line all down, going past Catalina Island and everything. And they're just loaded with boxes. Now, who knows if they're going to make it in time? I'm sure those will make it in time for the holidays. But, is it going to impact? Well, if you're a retailer, let's say you're Old Navy and you ordered a whole case, a shipping container full of clothing for your Black Friday specials in November, which are creeping up here, or your Best Buy bought a whole bunch of TVs or electronics, notice that back in 2020, the cost was $2,000 to send the box, right? It's 2020 was less than $2,000. Now, and this is only this is as of August. The last number I saw was 14,000. It's gone from 2,000 to 14,000 in less than a year. You know darn well that those costs are going to be passed on to you and me, right? And that means if I'm Old Navy in this example and I bought all of that, can I now do my 50% off sales to draw in people? Can I do kind of promotions like that? I don't know if I can. Because now all of a sudden this is going to cut into my profit margin in a pretty big way. I mean, this is no small joke. That shipping container cost me $13,000 more that I have to come up with out of pocket. Black Friday, is it going to be what it used to be? I don't know. I think we're going to have a couple different crazy scenarios happen, but let's keep looking at some charts here. I know, right, Walter? It's like, oh my goodness. Medic says, shouldn't the price of goods go up with the limited amount of inventory increase? Yes. And that's where we have to go. What should happen here? If we go back to the fundamental driver of price in anything, anything in life, supply and demand. Now, demand is going to, personally, I think demand is going to be higher than ever. Why? Because we're all out again. We have the opportunity to go shop. I feel like the last year and a half, 2 years, we're kind of confined to our homes to shop. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting out a little bit more. We're going shopping a little bit more, physical locations. I think that a lot of these retailers are expecting to have a colossal sales year. I think demand is going to be a little bit higher than normal. But supply, if I'm going to be that hurt by shipping, a lot of this is going to be, I guess, limited, right? So let's say it's the hottest toy. It's a Red Ryder BB gun. You think you can get all those Red Ryder BB guns from China? I don't know. Do you get half? Do you get a quarter? Do you get an eighth, a 16th of your expected inventory in time? So right now what's happening, I believe what's happening, and this is where it goes into that I don't really know. I believe if I'm a retailer, I'm putting in extra orders right now. I'm doubling or tripling my orders to hope to get something loaded me up for the holidays. So in my mind, one of two things is going to happen. Either this trend that we see here in the shipping costs continues to move up, and if it does, that just means that there's more delays, right? The higher this gets, that means the more shutdown, the more lag time. I mean, 8 of the 10 largest ports in the world are in China, and they're still doing all kinds of COVID lockdown stuff. I mean, one of the recent ones happened in August. One guy got COVID that worked at the port, and they shut the whole port down. I mean, that type of stuff is pretty significant to slowing down the price from Shanghai to here. Now, what's interesting, I'll show you some prices here in a second. From LA to Shanghai is nowhere near as expensive. It's cheap. So here you go. I want to show you the current prices, because remember this chart right here showed it right around 10,000 and change. This was taken today, and you can see that Shanghai to Los Angeles is 12,424. So it's still rising. It's still going up. Ironically, from Los Angeles to Shanghai is only 1,400. So it's 10 times as more expensive to receive goods from China than it is to send them to China. Thought that was kind of weird. It's even more money to go from Shanghai to New York. So what does this mean? I mean, how does this all impact us? Well, like I say, if I'm a retailer right now, I have to see this bottleneck, and I'm maybe trying to buy from different vendors, maybe I get different ports, different boats. But if it gets here in time, then I can have some amazing sales because I got all this inventory. If it doesn't get here in time, then all of a sudden the question is, are we going to see the great sales that we are used to? And number two, how insane, and from my perspective, I apologize if you think differently, I think it's an absolute embarrassment to capitalism and Americans watching those Walmart Black Friday sales when the doors open and people literally are in full-on fisticuff brawls trying to get a TV for $10 cheaper than normal, beating each other up over a blender. It's like, come on, man. Where's the human dignity in this thing? That's just, I can get all that stuff online tomorrow for the same price, and it'll be delivered. I don't have to go down there. Anyway. My vent about Black Friday. I actually despise it all. So if we do not get it, what does that do to something like Black Friday? Does all of a sudden, like, you have a much smaller pool of product for people to try to get? Like, I mean, now I can, are you bringing your guns to Walmart to make sure you get your TVs? Like, that's mine. I don't know. I personally think it's going to be ugly. And the main reason is, we haven't fully gotten out of COVID, and I think that that's an issue for China. Remember, they're the ones who control the products and goods coming to the United States. So if they keep having issues, it could be a bigger bottleneck over time. I personally think we'll have a dismal Christmas with regards to earnings, because I don't believe that all these companies are going to get their inventory in time. Again, my bikes took me 4 months as opposed to 1. That was 3 months longer than needed. Partially due to the shipping coming out of China. The other part was, as I heard mentioned in here, or saw mentioned in here, where was the one that said he worked at the ports? They can't find, Pro 35 says, they can't find enough people to work in San Pedro. All the workers make more money staying at home to receive stimulus pay. Unfortunately, that's sad, and it's true. It's sad and true. They can... I know, it's bizarre. Why buy so many e-bikes, Margaret? Because I'm one of these guys that if I find a deal, I load up. I knew there was no problem in me getting rid of these e-bikes. When I went around and saw that they were selling for $2,000 and I could get them for $800, I could easily flip them and double my money. So I wasn't worried about that. And I figured if I'm going to spend the time and effort, I'll hook some of my friends up as well. So, and by the way, I love riding my e-bike around. They are a lot of fun. So that's why I bought so many. And in hindsight, Margaret, I wish I would have bought a whole container. I wish I bought a whole container of those damn things, because it would have been... Yeah, I don't know the basics around what's going on in San Pedro, but I'm pretty sure that there is limited workers. I'm sure some may not be working. I know they do make good money. Those dock workers make real good money. What are longshoremen? They make good money. But again, I think COVID is a big factor. So anybody's got sick or cold, hey, you're not coming in for 2 weeks, and you start to take a couple people out of the equation, and that domino effect impacts a lot of those deliveries. Either way, what's it going to take to get these bottlenecks fixed, right? You have to have full production and health in China ports and full production and health at U.S. ports. Not only that, but you now have demand is spiking because a lot of people, I believe, are trying to get more orders. So now all of a sudden you have bigger backlogs in China. So I don't see it getting back to a full 100% flow. Now, we're still going to be able to have our Black Friday sales, guys. It just might not be on the products or services that we really wanted. Ultimately, those products will get here. No, Clint. I got the Great Dane is sitting right here, and he wants to bark at something. Don't even think about it, Clint. Bottom line is we will get our products and services for sure. It's just a matter of when, right? I think that the earnings numbers might not look as good because I don't believe, personally, that the stores, the main retailers, your Best Buys, your Old Navy, and things like that, will get the inventory they need to have those colossal holiday numbers that we are so expecting them to have. I mean, it seems like every year it's like, oh, Black Friday sales, let's see those numbers and report how good they did. I don't think they're going to have the supply. I don't think they're going to have it. I don't think they have the inventory to have those numbers. So, to go back to that question, which is a great question from Peter. Oops, nope, that wasn't from Peter. That was from Jeff. Is how do we use that to trade to benefit us? Well, I think you do a couple things. Number one is look at companies that have a tremendous amount of imports from China, or rely on a bunch of imports. So Best Buy, right? Best Buy most likely is going to start to have, in my opinion, some supply problems. Also, I would think that you would probably be looking at textiles as well. So I'm going to go on the assumption a lot of Old Navy or these types of stores are made in China. I would see who's relying on the exports from China and see what the price chart looks like. Is it already reflected? I haven't really looked, but let me, I think I have that chart up here for you. Let's bring up a couple retailers. So here's the gap. That's a 5-minute chart. Oops, I can show you that chart if you want. There you see it. So here's your daily of the gap. I would argue it's already being felt. Look at the gap. It's gone from $38 down to 24. And granted, it's been over the past couple months that the talk track about this has really become an issue. You're starting to see it drop there. Let's go to Best Buy. Best Buy flatline right now, but I personally think Best Buy could really take it on the chin if they don't get their inventory. Remember, those TVs take up a lot of space. You can fit a lot of clothing in a container, but a container full of TVs, that's a lot of containers that they're expecting. So, maybe what you end up doing is looking for those companies that you feel really rely heavily on imports from China. Electronics would be a main one. And then maybe go and looking at puts that expire in February or January. I think, don't make the mistake I did. I would go out to February, January at the earliest. I don't know if you guys know, one of my biggest losing trades ever was a $100,000 trade where I bought $100,000 worth of puts on Best Buy going into the holiday season. Don't short a stock going into Christmas. Even though I really want to this year, because I do believe that we're going to see things drift down with regards to the retail sales numbers for the holidays, I can't do it. It's in my trading plan because of what happened in that options trade. And by the way, I had $100,000 worth of puts on Best Buy, and I had those written for the third week of December. The first week of January, it gapped down 50% on earnings overnight. 50%. And my options expired 2 weeks earlier. Son of a biscuit! If I just bought the January ones, I would have had a 6-figure trade on, but no, didn't work out in my favor. Let's see. Someone asked to look at Target. Okay. Target or Walmart. So Target having a little bit of a pullback, but it's still gorgeous. I mean, that is a fantastic uptrend. What about Walmart? Right? Everybody knows Walmart's dealing with China. I mean, but at this point, and I don't know enough about this. Some of you probably know much more about the shipping industry than I do. But at this point, when you look at somebody like a Walmart, at what point do they throw their weight around, right, and go to some of these distributors and be like, hey, we're buying the whole damn boat. and that boat better get here by this date. I think I think that if I had Walmart's power and influence and the amount of stuff I buy from China, I would probably try to throw my weight around. Now, another thing that's interesting, if you go back into history, we obviously are seeing these gigantic, massive delays with shipping freight, which is 90% of all shipping is done via ocean freight. You can go to air freight, right? But air freight as well has jumped significantly. The numbers I looked at earlier were like $2.5 to $5 per kilo, and now it's 8 to 10. So that's spiked up as well. This is something that, depending on what your cargo is, could be very doable. For example, one of the big historical cases of like a clever shipping move was what's his name? Steve Jobs did back in, I think it was the late 90s, 97, 98. They were releasing the iMac. And Compaq had a computer that was supposed to roll out as well, but there were all kinds of shipping disruptions. So Steve Jobs basically booked up all these giant aircraft and had them flown over. And all of his inventory got there in time when Compaq's didn't because of the issues that were going on. So I guess you might see some people jumping onto the airline side of things and looking for air shipping. But I do think there's going to be opportunity. I do think you'll see some of these companies struggle. Now, let's see, what do I got? That's exactly what they were talking about. They did over the weekend. Costco, Walmart, and big retailers are going to direct. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if Walmart just doesn't buy a shipping line now. I mean, at that point, you do so much volume, may as well. Big shippers like Walmart are already doing this for the last 8 months. Yeah, probably, Nick. I don't know. I'm not that versed on the whole industry, but I do think that there's going to be some winners and losers. I don't know which ones will be the losers, but I do think it's going to be an impact, and I do think there's trading opportunities here. One that I wanted to show you here was this last chart, because one of the questions is probably going to be, well, do we export anything to China? Because you saw the shipping cost, right? Look at the shipping cost difference here. Oops, that's the wrong screen. There you go. You notice Shanghai to Los Angeles, it's $12,424 as of the 23rd of September. If you look at Los Angeles to Shanghai, it's $1,400 per container. So if I'm China, I'm like, man, this is a good deal for me. I can get a lot of goods and services from America right now, which if you're a company that does exporting to China, that might be good. So what companies do we see exporting? Kind of interesting here. Unfortunately, I don't have the most recent one. You gotta love government data. Sometimes it takes years for them to figure this crap out, which drives me nuts. But soybeans was number one. Integrated electronic circuits was another one. Motor vehicles was one of our major exports, as well as civilian aircraft. Those are kind of the four major exports to China that we do. There you go. Let's see. To fuel prices, big Walmart is trying to hire thousands of truck drivers, offering, wow, signing bonuses, huh? And it's funny because I've actually talked to I have a friend who's a trucker too, and he says that they're big backlogs too. Just for the shipping. Remember, it's not just getting it to America, right? We got to get it to the specific locations. And yeah, it amazes me every time. I was hoping I would have gone out to Dog Beach this weekend so I could have taken a picture of that, because it's just so weird to see just dozens of gigantic shipping container trucks waiting to get in. So that's it. Yes, I do, Jeff, think that it's going to impact holiday season. I, for one, I think when all the numbers finally come out, and of course, I think we'll have to wait. I would say wait until October to see if these numbers are bad. That will get a much greater idea. And unfortunately, I am not in the loop. So for example, these containers take, I believe it's 30 to 45 days to get here, right? So if you have not ordered your Christmas products by November 1st, you're probably not going to get it, right? Let's say November 15th. And of course, most of them are going to be loading up for Black Friday, which is when everybody really does their shopping. So I think that we'll get a much clearer picture here in about another month. But again, if I'm a analyst for Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, I'm in touch with those guys over there, and I can see who's ordering what. I know what the orders are, and if I can see the delays are going to far outweigh the deliveries, then I'd already be ahead of the game. So unfortunately, I don't have access to that information. Just it's beyond me. But I do think we're going to see delays. Yes, I do have my puts, Pepe. I still have them. I told you October 1st was my deadline. October 1st is when I wanted to hold them to. I'll probably get out the next week because I'll be on the road this weekend. So I'll probably close out the week of October 4th. All right. So show of hands. What do you think that we're going to see a good Christmas Santa Claus rally, or are we going to see markets drift down? What do you guys think? The up or down for the end, going into the Christmas? Up or down? I'm curious. Let's see. There are 18 40 ship containers for every one available. Wow. Wow. Really? I didn't know that big, Eb. That's crazy. So you can get it here. Even if you can get it here, you can't get it to where you want it to go. That's nuts. Is there an ETF? I don't know if... I saw Margaret put in IYT. I don't know if that's necessarily shipping containers or tankers. Don't know. I probably should have looked at that one. But transportation, but is IYT... Let me see here real quick. You can check in here and look at... sometimes it'll give you the whole breakdown of components and you can get an idea. Most of it's going to be... My guess would be trucking and domestic, but there probably is some in there. So here you go. This is like IYT. Here's your holdings. And thanks, Margaret, for putting that one in there. Here's your holdings down here at the bottom. And now you guys can see it. So I'm seeing, oh, yeah, pretty mixed. I got ups. I got some downs. I'm not trying to convince you it's going to be down. I don't know which way it's going to go, Kenny. I can't buy puts, or I would probably throw a flyer and buy some long-term puts, February puts on this. But average, all right. Yeah, I'll redo it. I think that we'll know mid to late October. I think that really will be like, okay, we'll get a better picture of orders and inventory. But here is, most of it. So you got FedEx, Delta Airlines. See, these are not shipping necessarily, not like from China stuff. Norfolk Southern, Southwest, Uber, CSX, Union Pacific. So I don't see any that I would say are straight logistics. Maybe these two, XPO and GXO. Lyft, United Airlines. So lots of airline stuff. Some JB Hunt, so trucking companies. But yeah, what are the big ones? Matson. So there's shipping. You also have Matson in there. I'm sure there's a few, but it's not heavily weighted in that specific sector. I don't know if there's one that's just boats or shipping, but I'll check that one out on another day. People writing about my thought is they will buy anything available. No. Then again, stimulus money is gone, so anything can happen. You know what? Part of me thinks that it's going to be. I don't expect all the products and services that are supposed to get here in time will get here. So my expectation is that you're going to see the products that you want to buy are not going to be available. So what I think will happen is you'll probably see like gift cards. Right, I think a lot of people are buying gift cards and buying just tons of gift cards for different companies. So when they do get the inventory, so maybe you get a rain check from the place for the TV that they advertise that they can't get us, and then you buy them gift cards. So I think that's probably what you will see. Tom says, so rally tickers in real life are not related anymore. Yeah. January could be a backlash. Well, we'll have to wait and see what the numbers are. I mean, we'll all know. I mean, when you go out shopping for your Black Friday and you see there's nothing there, start shorting the market. All right, what else do I have? There were some other questions that came in. So there was this one that came through. And again, I'm not doing too much in-depth crypto talk. I'm saving that for the Crypto Investor Live program. Actually, somebody asked me about that one. Crypto Investor Live is available through Online Trading Academy. It's a purchased product. So you can go buy Digital Asset course, which is 43 videos. And then Crypto Investor Live, which I do two-hour sessions a week, is where I dive deeper into crypto. But Peter says, can we talk about day trading crypto in the U.S.? How does it work? If it does, which platforms would you recommend? And what is a decent amount for such an account? Well, the challenge in the U.S. is leverage. So you don't really get leverage here in the U.S. If you're going international or using VPNs, you could go to international markets and get 20, 50, maybe even more than that leverage, although they're really starting to crack down on that internationally. Day trading, absolutely. I mean, you look at some of these intraday moves. I mean, crypto doesn't sit still very long, right? Up, down, big swings. It has them all the time. So here is a chart of, pick a crypto. Let's go. Here's your Bitcoin for the day. There's your daily. I'll go to, let's say, a 15-minute. Right? I mean, you went from 44,250 all the way down to almost 4,250. So you had a $2,000 drop in a period of just a few hours. I mean, that's a pretty decent drop. So there's plenty of opportunity in there. The question, as you mentioned, is what exchanges do you go to? Well, look, if you're going to be being very active, then you would be using something like Coinbase Pro. You'd be using Kraken Pro or Binance Pro, something that has a level 2 or a market that looks much better. Let me bring one in just so I can show you, because Coinbase And also, I think it's important when you do it to check the fee structures. Fee structure is very important, but I'm not sure if I'm still logged in here, so hopefully I will be. So this is one that it's just like, looks pretty much like CliK, right? So here's your Coinbase Pro. So you got your order book here on the left-hand side, your basic order entry here. You've got, basic. This is a very basic platform. It's not very good, but it's got a basic trading platform look and feel. I personally prefer Kraken Pro. I like it a lot better. But the reason you'd want to do that one is because when you look at something like Coinbase, they don't give you all the features and functionality. They give you a really dummied down version, and they don't give you the ability to negotiate price. Here you can negotiate price. It's easy to do. There, you can't do it with it. So that's what would be my my 2 cents on that one would be make sure that you look at the platform, the fees, and make sure you have access to level 2, really market depth. Eric says FTX. Yeah, FTX would be great if you could use it in America. FTX is awesome. Let me bring it up. FTX. I actually own the tokens, which I had to buy internationally because I can't buy them here in the U.S. But here is FTX. Oh, this is just U.S. So there's an FTX that gives you a lot more, but I didn't get a chance to use it. The real version of FTX is way more robust, way better. But there are, I guess now you can trade different things on FTX. But I like them. I actually like Blankman. What's his name? Blankman Fried. Some young kid that started this from scratch. So I didn't realize that this had all the features and functionality. But here, this is what they're calling their advanced trading. It's okay. Immediate or kill. I'm just seeing if they have a leverage button. I know they had leverage, but then they had to take it out for Americans. Most of the American accounts, guys, are shut down. You don't get good stuff. Yeah, KuCoin. Chris out there. Hey, good to see you, Chris. KuCoin is a good one for trading as well. They're pretty much the best with as far as new coins. They seem to get everything on KuCoin. But yes, you can absolutely do it, Peter. There's plenty of people who are day trading. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I'm more of a hodler. But I do like to every now and again, when you see something moving or breaking through a big demand zone, etc., I'll go for it. All right, what else you guys got for me today? What else did I miss anything? So it's a rally. People are about guidance commentary from retailers during Q3 report should start the trouble for equities. Well, I mean, again, what's the trouble for equities going to be? It seems like it's just invincible. It seems like whatever happens, whatever news comes out, it just keeps on trucking forward. Oh, we have a bad holiday season. Great. Well, that means the Fed's going to step up and start buying more. Who knows how that's going to go? This to me will be I think that this is more of a one-off. But think long term. If I'm China and I now know that I had you guys paying $2,000 for a shipping container, $1,400 for a shipping container, and now it's $12,500, and you're still gobbling it up. Do you think prices are going to go back down to $2,000? I really don't think so. If I was a shipper, I'd be like, I'd talk to all my colleagues in China and be like, hey, we're not dropping this thing below $6,000, right? We were getting $1,400. I want to keep it at $6,000. More money for us, right? They're going to buy it anyway. What are they going to do? Say, no, we're not going to buy that stuff. Or we'll just let our businesses fail in America. It seems to me like this might be one of those things where those prices are here to stay. And the long-term impact of that to me is what's much more frightening, because if all of a sudden we have a one-off spike in products, as I think we're seeing right now, right? I think we'll see some short-term spikes in price because the shipping costs will get passed on to us. That might continue for a much longer period of time, and it may actually be permanent, those fees. And if that's the case, then all of a sudden inflation, which was transient back 8 months ago, and then it was moderate 3 months ago, and now it's extended, I believe is what he said, that number could get much, much worse. So to me, that's one I'd want to keep an eye on, is that chart I showed you guys earlier. If that line continues to go up, or at least stays there, so this line right here, if that keeps moving up, then I expect there to be more retail trauma with regards to sales and prices. And the bigger piece here isn't just the sales numbers. It's the inflation numbers that are going to pass through to us, because those are some significant cost increases. I mean, just the bikes that I wanted, I paid $800 a bike, and they're like, oh, now they're $950. And she's like, the bikes, nothing changed with the bike. She goes, our price is still the same. She goes, it's the shipping costs. And I was like, That's a huge cost. And if I was starting a business of selling those electric bikes here and I bought for $800, I'm going to sell it to you for $1,600, right? Give me just a double markup. But if now all of a sudden I have to pay $950, you guys are paying $1,900. That's a $300 increase. That's inflation, and that's going to get passed on through. All right, can we talk about natural gas? Ooh, gosh, the natural gas. You mean the parabolic moves? It's funny because I had a small position in Boyle that I closed recently, and boy, I kind of wish I did not close that Boyle one. Take out Boyle. Boo-boo! Gone from $56 to $84 in about a week. Pretty crazy what's going on with natural gas. There you go. Gap and go today. Monster move in Boyle. Talk about what's going on with it. I don't know. I think you're just dealing with a bunch of manipulation right now. I didn't see any real issue with the supply numbers personally, but we had that little demand zone draw in there. I hope someone took it. We came right down to it, almost got it, and then just all of a sudden ripped to the upside. We're at 580. If you look at the long-term picture here of natural gas, it makes you wonder. Okay, I'm going longer term. This goes back to the weekly. I'll maybe just throw it on a monthly for you guys. Now, granted, there are some peaks that go way back up here in 2007. Hey, could we get there? Absolutely. Absolutely, we could get there. I'm not a commodity expert. Maybe I'll see if I can bring on John Rowland again, who's the big natural gas guy. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys might remember better than me because I got too much going on in my head. I think you guys might remember, I think John Rowland was calling for this. He says later in the year, natural gas exploding, right? Damn it. I wish I would have listened to John Rowland. I'm going to have to go back and check out the last time John Rowland was on the show because I'm pretty sure he was just hammering the table on natural gas saying, through the roof, through the roof, through the roof. I didn't expect it to be like that. That is a phenomenal looking chart. Unfortunately, I am not in natural gas in anything, futures or ETFs or anything. But as far as your question, where is it going? Well, I mean, really, you can see all these highs we've had since 2009. We're just about to rip through the highest one, which is back here in February of 2014. After that, I mean, geez, this could be a much bigger run. Yeah, I agree with you, Walter. I'll reach out to him after the show. By the way, a lot of you guys have asked about Tilly. So I reached out to Tilly today. She can't come on the show. She's doing some work for a firm that doesn't want anybody to be dealing with social media. So unfortunately, I won't be able to get Tilly on the program, which is unfortunate. Tilly's always one of my favorite guests on the show, but it is what it is. Maybe we can get a voice changer, and we'll just call her some other name. We can just pretend it's the one behind the curtain, with that dark raspy voice and like an FBI video.
So I was thinking that the futures would rally.
No, I don't know. We'll see if we can get her on at some point here in the near future. Yeah. So other than that, I don't want to tell you what the natural gas. It's just been like ripping. When it was really strong a couple of weeks ago, we were expecting it to pull back, right? At least I was, and I said I think it's going to pull back. We had that little line drawn. It was great, fine. I didn't think this trend was over because it's just been looking so darn strong since 2020 lows. But it feels like it's building momentum. Now, what scares me about moves like this is I feel like it's more manipulated. And when you have, I'll call her Billy. What a masculine voice on her, and call her Billy. Billy Tallison. How about that? No, she is. She's still working with OTA, but she's doing some other stuff on the side just for fun because she's one of those people that has to be doing a million things or she gets bored. But again, if you look at why I sold my Solana a while back, it's because it had this huge move in a short period of time, and my gut always tells me that that's a retail move when something goes parabolic like that, and just lock in profits and jump ship. Right now, it looks like we're heading into an even bigger phase of it, the way this thing shot up here today. I mean, it's been 3 days of just unbelievable move for natural gas. And, of course, we'll have inventories coming out this week, so we'll see what those inventory numbers look like. I believe that's Wednesday they're going to be coming out, so pay attention to that one. All right. I did not get a chance to bring up economic calendars, but I will do that for us right now just so we can look at what's happening out there for tomorrow. Where am I at? Boom, go to there. There's my dates. And let's see. So today, really, there wasn't much. You had some international stuff, a lot of central bankers speaking, but it really wasn't a major impactful day. The vote, by the way, was the important piece. If you saw Monday morning must-knows, our infrastructure bill vote got kicked down the road. Now they're saying Thursday or Wednesday. Tomorrow, you do have Jerome Powell be testifying, so that's going to be at 7 a.m. Pacific time. He does this. He's really going to be talking about the coronavirus, the CARES Act before the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. who knows? He'll probably say some fluff to help the markets, blah, blah, blah. But you do have a couple housing pieces. Remember, last week we had new home sales. I think we had existing home sales as well. You have the S&P 500, S&P Case-Shiller Composite 20 Home Price Index. Say that 3 times fast. That number is supposed to be coming out now. Year-over-year growth, last month it was 19%. Now they're expecting to be 20%. A 20% year-over-year gain in the Composite 20 Home Price Index, to me, that's pretty much like that chart of natural gas. It's gone parabolic. Realty doesn't usually jump by 20% year over year. So to me, things are getting really heated up here, extremely bubblicious. You also have home price index numbers, and that's coming out 30 minutes before the markets open tomorrow. Other than that, nothing really big on the economic front. Now, as far as earnings, there's only 65 companies reporting this week, so it's kind of a boring earnings week. But tomorrow you do have Micron Technologies. Oh, am I not even? Yeah, I forgot what screen I have. We have Micron Technologies reporting, and then that's pretty much it. IHS Markit, which is a data provider, they're coming out with earnings as well, but that's pretty much it on the front there. So, not a really exciting day tomorrow, but certainly there might be some activity with the economic announcement, with the housing data, etc. So I keep your eye on that one. And then tomorrow, again, I'm starting at 2:15. That sounds better, Margaret. It almost looks like you typed in dog shit on there, but it's sorry. Oh, I'm terrible. Let's see. DJSHT. Does sound like dog shit. DJG. No, not getting anything there. I'll find something. There's got to be something out there. What are some stocks? Basically, UNG. Yeah, Margaret. UNG, Walter's been pretty much the only one. I mean, there are others, but UNG is the most liquid big one. That's the one most people are tracking. But there's UNG. It has good volume. There are a few others that track, and there's some leverage ones, but they have very light volume. Cool. All right. Sorry, there's like a 30-second delay between when I see your chat, so I apologize for the delays that may be showing up. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Again, apologize for the delay. I'm happy that the Great Dane didn't bark really loud because he's got this bassy voice which just travels through all the walls here. I was going to try to get Tilly on for tomorrow, but that's not going to happen because she can't come on, so I will do another show solo tomorrow. If you guys have topics, something you want me to look into, like Jeff talked about the shipping today, I think it's a great discussion. I think it's a great thing for us going forward. I think there's opportunity. I'm just not 100% sure how to play it right now. We'll probably revisit this in mid-October, and if it does look dismal and the numbers still look backed up, I'll probably buy some puts going into February. Oh, Medic, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking Medic permanently. You know what team you want to cheer for? It's easy. That's very easy. You just cheer for this team right here. Yeah, that one. I don't see a Seahawks logo on this screen, but I see a 49ers logo. Anyway, all right, everybody, enough of my sports chatter. Hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm hoping I freaked you guys out a little bit with the price of the shipping containers. It's unbelievable how high those things have gotten, and I don't see it stopping. If you can get someone to pony up money for something, you can always look back and go, you paid for it then, you'll pay for it again, won't you? And of course, Walmart and all these guys, they need that product from China, so they'll pay whatever shipping costs. It just gets passed on to us. All right, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Sorry for the delay. Again, tomorrow I'll be starting at 2:15 as well. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.